it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Get to know each other.
Yes. And I'm so excited. We're just going live now. And here, I'm going to make sure that we are live on the channel or on our talk hole before we start this amazing conversation.
Yeah, looks like we're all live and deaf.
Looks like we are live. Now let's verify.
You feeling alive? You look alive.
I know that I'm very, very live. At the dismay of some.
Live and in person, sorta. Hey everybody, my name is Ty.
My name is Cole.
We are Ty Cole, and this is the Mentor in the Mirror podcast.
We're so excited, you guys, because we get to talk to not only an incredible creator of her own destiny and someone that's helping to teach and really guide that path for other people. So our friend Lisa is here today, and we're going to dive deep into the fact that you were meant for more. And this gets to go along perfectly with her book that's going to be coming out like any time. So, instead of even going to an intro thing, Lisa, can you just let people know, give them some context of who you are and what lights you up right now?
Yeah. Well, I love the conversation we are having as we entered here. I'm lit up right now, believe it or not, even though we are in our homes at the time that we're sharing with each other here and, quarantined, but I'm lit up by taking the time to really, kind of stand 3 months in the future and say, what will I be happy to have done? I just decided when I look at it kind of came from this analogy, a lesson I had, I don't know, quite a few years ago that really changed my life, where I'm out to lunch with a friend and she's reading the menu and I'm reading the menu. And every time we would go out, I always loved what she ordered and wished I had ordered the same thing. And then I'd eat mine and later I wouldn't feel that good and she'd have all this energy. So the next time we were out, I said, hey, when you're looking at the menu, how do you decide what you're going to have? And she said, no one's ever asked me that, but I actually do ask myself a specific question. She says, instead of looking at the menu and saying, oh, what's the thing I could just mac out on right now? What's the best thing on the menu? She said, I ask myself, what would I be happy to have eaten? And then I ordered from there. And I was like, oh, wow, that's super different than how I do it. I'm like, what do I most feel like right now? And, I just, that got into my life and I've been, looking at life that way for years. And it's such a perfect question I'm finding right now. And I'm sharing it a lot. It's like, you could ask yourself, what do I want to mac out on right now? What would make me happy right now or feel good right now? Or you could ask yourself, what will I be happy to have done right now? And so when I look back, 3 months from now, I feel like I'm going to be happy that I became more independent on all of my technology because my assistant's working from home instead of right here in my home office. Usually I'm like, Brittany, help me. I know I'm going to be happy for the fitness that I'm enjoying in my home with my family, just learning all kinds of new ways to just be self-sufficient here. I know I'm going to be happy with some of the personal growth and spiritual deep dives that I've been taking with this time. So, and I know I'm going to be happy with the generosity that is just like the guidance from the upstairs team that I'm getting on the ways that we can give from our campus right now to our students, our prior students and our current students. So yeah, that's what's got me, that question has got me all lit up.
Amazing. And so what does it mean to you for when you say we are meant for more, which is your upcoming book, right? What does that mean to you?
So if, for folks that we just haven't connected somewhere in the universe before, a little context, about 10 years ago, I started a company teaching entrepreneurs, mission-based, heart-centered entrepreneurs, how to sell without being pushy or salesy. And the key was to make your offer so irresistible that the people who need you would thank you for it, in which case you don't have to sell, right? But there are certain structures, certain markers that you have to hit to give people what they need to be able to say yes to themselves. So for 10 years, I started a home-based business. My kids were a newborn and a 3-year-old. My then husband was in fellowship to become a surgeon. We were living in a city. I didn't know anybody. And we were also in the recession. So there was a lot of a feeling a little bit like now. People were losing, their jobs. They were losing their retirement. Like it was, a time that felt very uncertain. And, in that time, I started to share this gift of being able to make your offer irresistible. And it took off. In the last 10 years, just, with that part of our business, we have done over $40 million of sales, from home, served clients in 134 countries, made the Inc. 500 twice as one of the fastest growing privately held companies in the United States. So it's kind of been like this beyond a vision board, like I never made a vision board with all that cool stuff on it. It's just been like a Cinderella story of business. And so in that time, I've looked into the eyes of a lot of people like me, a lot of people that wanted to stop living a double life. In fact, Ty, this came right out of your mouth when we were talking right before this. You actually said these words and I was like, I love these guys. Just stop living a double life where they're doing something that that for money on 9 to 5, and then you're doing the things you love on the nights and weekends, and that was me before I figured out how to turn my gift into my offer and turn my knowledge into profits. And that's what I see in the thousands and thousands of people that have come through our courses and seminars. When I look in their eyes, is it's a feeling that you are meant for more, like a feeling that won't go away. Like try as you might even to suppress it, it just keeps coming up. And so when I coupled up with Hay House, who I'm so honored that they published this book because, so many of my early heroes, Marianne Williamson and Wayne Dyer and Louise Hay, were Hay House authors. So to join their ranks is like, the biggest blessing. And we really, really looked at it. I said, that is the thing. If I could take what I learned in the last decade more and just put it right into it. I just got my own copy, so here it is. It just came. It's available now, actually. You guys can go and get it from your favorite bookseller. I know Amazon's got a bunch of them in stock, and they're shipping, so I think it's considered an essential. It must be an essential item. But I mean, if I was told, Lisa, you've got 3 days to write a book, we're locking you up, we want the best of what you know to help people right now in this time, the book would be the proven formula to turn your knowledge into profits. And that is really what the Meant for More formula walks you through, is like, you don't have to suppress the feeling. You can let that Meant for More feeling come up and you may have not known what to do with it prior to now, but the Meant for More book really gives you the steps on what do you do first? How do you make peace with sales? How do you,
especially right now?
Yeah, right now, like, yeah. In fact, how do you harvest your unique value, figure out what it is and communicate it? How do you turn it into an offer that's irresistible so you don't have to learn sales? So those are some of the steps that are, just right here and waiting for people.
So I have a question for you. So we work deeply with people in the integration of themselves with everything they're doing. And shame is something that we have been helping people to unravel. And there's a lot of shame around selling things, right? There's a lot of guilt, like I'm taking your money. There's a lot of shame around maybe I'm a bad guy or a bad girl because I'm taking your money. How would you suggest to someone in today's tide with what's going on to move through that I feel ashamed that I'm asking for someone to purchase something at this time when people are not working and all of this other stuff? How would you go about explaining it to someone?
I think that's a great question. And yeah, who knows? Are you a bad boy? Everybody has to answer that question.
That's why I married him.
So those might be separate from this question, but the thing is, when I first came on the scene teaching people, how to make their offer irresistible, it's because I saw all of these people that really could help people, like you guys help people, like I help people, like so many of you here, you can help people. And I saw that they were holding back on making their offer or offering their services, their advice, their coaching, because they didn't want to seem pushy or salesy. So for 10 years, I've been working to support people in understanding that it's a disservice not to make your offer. You know, and it's a disservice in a couple of ways. One way it's a disservice not to make your offer, of course, is that the people who need you, they don't get to, you know, step into your help. So that one's kind of obvious. But there's this other way that's a little less obvious, and that's how it's a disservice to you. And the way that it's a disservice to you is that if you are shy about making your offer, you're holding back, and instead you're like, I'm just going to give, I'm just going to help and give, but I'm not going to make my offer because, you know, that'll seem opportunistic. That's what I'm hearing in this day. It'll seem opportunistic to make my offer right now while people are struggling. You know, if you don't do that, if you just go out and educate, you know, and inspire, but you don't make the offer, what ends up happening is you become educational and even inspirational, but you don't get to be transformational, right? Like the transformation comes when people make a decision. All transformation is preceded by a decision. Somewhere in there, you make a choice, you make a decision. And the offer is the thing that spurs someone to be able to make a decision. It's really giving them the chance to say, yes, I want to do something about that thing I've been complaining about or in pain about, or to really be honest and say, you know, the man in the mirror, let's talk about the mirror, to be honest and say, no, you know what, I've been complaining and now you're making me an offer. And guess what? I actually don't want to fix it, or it's not worth it to me to invest in that. I'm going to spend my resources elsewhere. That's a gift too, right?
Agreed.
For someone to true up in the mirror and realize that it's a choice.
Yeah, agreed.
So, and right now to apply it to this moment in time that we're in, what I'm seeing, the tweak on not making the offer is I don't want to be opportunistic. I don't want to seem like, you know, I'm hitting people when they're down. But listen, I can think through every category of service, coaching, mentorship that all of us, you know, any of you here with us might be offering. And I can't think of one that's not more needed right now.
Agreed.
You know, if you know how to homeschool your kids, please get out there with an offer, you know.
Oh, I know plenty of moms right now that are dying for someone to come up with the offer because they can't do any of the other things they want to do, right? And so, or maybe they've got other kids too, or they're just not everyone is a teacher of academics. Like if you put most kids' homework in front of me, I can go, you know, and if I can't Google it, I can't help you.
It's, you know, or I mean, let's just take every category, right? I mean, if you guys know how to work together in harmony and close proximity, to work together and love together, and people need to know that we're all in close proximity. If you're in health, if you're in finance, if you know anything about money right now, real estate, like every one of these categories, spirituality, let's face it, right? People need to be connecting to themselves, to source. So, you know, I can't think of one thing that any of us might tap into when we start to discover what is our own unique value that I wouldn't double down on right now when it comes to making your offer. And let's face it, it's in the highest good of all. You may need an additional income stream, and you can't use the old methods. We say turn your knowledge into profits because you can't turn your labor into profits right now. You can't go drive an Uber right now. You know, like the backup plans are kind of gone. But your knowledge, you've always got it.
Yeah. And I love what you're saying as far as unapologetically making the offers, because look, if I go to the store or someone calls me and says, hey, they have toilet paper at a different store, I'm beelining to the other store for a need that I'm getting fulfilled from a place that has it when I'm clear on the need, right? So once we get clear on the need, we have the opportunity to look for it. And like we do not sell in anything that we do. We have been a referral-based business our entire time working together, which is about 7 years now. So it's understanding that, first of all, if someone comes and they have a problem with you making an offer at the end, that speaks to where they are in the journey of them feeling like their boundaries are being pressed or that someone is opportunistic. And the truth of the matter is how someone else feels about me is none of my business. And I know that the people that get that the offer is necessary for us to provide value, because what someone gets when they invest is our time. They are leveraging our time, and they get prioritized by our time, because that is a leveraging point, right? Time is a leverage. Money is a leverage. And there's other energetic exchanges that can leverage for what you want.
Listen, we give our information away freely. It's there you go. Here
you just
go.
have to comb through it. We've got 80 episodes on this broadcast.
You got podcast. You can scroll down 5 years of my Facebook timeline. You can go to my Instagram. You can do all of that stuff. But if you want to work directly with me, it's going to cost you some bread. And because it's not going to cost you bread, but the exchange is going to be some bread, because I got to pay my rent. I got to pay, the lights.
We live in a system that works in the exchange of money.
We have a financial system that is currently running our planet. So for me to put my life on hold to give you these exorbitant amounts of time, there's going to have to be an exchange so that I don't have to be paying attention to that.
Not only that, it's who we get to invest in as a result. It's the trickle down. When we get paid, we get to hire teams. I get to get independent contractors. I get to pay someone to help clean my house, because then I need to leverage my time for someone else or something else. So it's actually what people fail to understand when they're first stepping into some of this transformational choice is that you aren't just paying one person. You're actually contributing to multiple families and multiple lineages, depending on how you look at not only the physical experience they get to have now, but the epigenetic, the genetic imprint of having what they need, of having food, and the gratitude that brings. So for us, when the tide turned now, the decision was, we are not going to stop paying anyone, which means we need to continue to fortify the finance in order to pay the teams. And we're lucky that we get to support transformational leaders who are doing the same thing.
Well, the thing, so step one in the Meant for More formula is the thing we're talking about, making peace with sales, right? And we're all selling all the time anyway, so you can pretend you're not or not, but why not have fun with it right now? We've got the space, get good at it, because, again, you want your kids to sit down and do the 8 to 2 right now. There's a little sales job involved in there.
Yes.
You might as well make it an irresistible offer. But the other thing that I love about what's so strong about what you're saying actually goes right into step 2 of the formula, which is discovering your unique value. And when you guys, so there's making peace with sales, and then going, well, what is my unique value? What has value that I offer, right? What would it be? How would I talk about it? How would I narrow it down? And when you talk about getting paid for the value that you two bring, right? And that your commitment is to not only keep doing that, but also then to keep paying the people that you work with, that work with your company, to bring their unique value, right? Like they're the ones handling whatever. It may be someone's doing the social media and somebody else is doing client service, because that's, that person that has that unique value, and another person is doing XYZ. So the trickle down goes in all the areas you said, plus in the unique value. And so for anyone listening that's like, I need that additional income stream, I'd like to be contributing in a way that's integrated, that's not set where I don't feel like I'm living a double life. This is really important work to dive deeper on, to take the next cut on. And I've got some, kind of fun suggestions, some fun ways. They come right out of the book on how you can discover your unique value. And then after you discover your unique value, we show you how to turn it into an irresistible offer. So there's kind of a progression, steps in the order that they go.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's give some tangible things that people can at least take for today, and then they can get the book and go deeper.
Okay, fun. And by the way, now that the book is out, I got to tell you guys something that's hot off the press. And I love that we're going here live, because your people are going to be the first ones to hear about it. And since you are futurists and innovators, I think you'll appreciate this. So it's really super not done to launch an audiobook when a physical hardback beautiful book like this is going out. Generally, Hay House would put this out, publishers would put this out, and then a month later, the audiobook would come out. Well, a lot of people listen to my stuff on audio. It's just like a way that I teach that works for people. And so I recorded the audiobook a few months ago. I knew it was in the can. It's done. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It was really good to read every word of my own book, because I would never have done it otherwise, in order.
Totally.
And I realized, this is good. And the stories are so good, even though I put them in there, I was like falling in love with the people and the stories. Hi, JR. So like, got some friends here. So, So here's the deal. This is so cool. Hot off the press. Thank you to Hay House Publishing. I talked to them and talk about congruence, right? The mirror of being an entrepreneur. I know that for each of us, where we're going to succeed the most is when we're using our own work on ourselves, when we're aligned, right? Instead of people you see out there that are saying one thing and doing another, right? And anytime we end up in that place where we say, oh, I'm going to teach you how to work 4 hours a day, but then we're working 12, we've got to shore that up or we don't have success, right? Yes. So my thing's the irresistible offer. I've been known for it for all these years. I'm known as the queen of sales conversion. So I went to Hay House and said, look, these are different times. All the rules, we got to break the rules on how we do books. I'd like to make our readers, the people that want to step into the Meant for More journey, an irresistible offer. I want to do something that's never done, and I need their permission to do it. Right. So for anyone who invests in the book right now, in the hardback, like you go to Amazon, you go to your favorite bookseller and you get the hardback, I would like to be able to give them the audiobook right then, so that even whether it takes a day or 2 weeks to get the book, they can start on the Meant for More journey that day. And everyone told me they'd never say yes, but this is what I love about Hay House. They said yes. So as of just like literally late breaking news, if you go to lisasasevich.com, you can see how to spell my name there. If you go to lisasasevich.com, you click on the tab that says Meant for More, you'll see all the booksellers where you can get the book online. So go do that. And then you come back to that page with your order number. And when you enter it, we're going to get you the audiobook immediately. We're going to put you into our online business academy where you'll get the audiobook and you'll get a course that we were just about to sell. It was going to be the upsell after the book for $500. We're giving it now, called Discover Your Unique Value. And really you just, all you do is you go get one, or a lot of people have been telling me go get two.
I can look at share it with a friend. I mean, this is the thing, is like, this is the chance when you have common language with people in your life. We call that your life team, right? When you get your life team in a position to be supportive, then you can bounce ideas off them because you are working in a similar languaging and you have a support system. When you are reliant on your own willpower alone, whether it's to complete a course, to read a book, whatever, life happens, kids happen, viruses happen, and you can get off course. When you get people on your team to know how to support you, what things are important to you right now, how can they help remind you of some of those mindset roadblocks that can come in or whatever, they can help support you so that you aren't solely dependent on willpower, because that comes and goes.
Good. Well, it's a plus. I mean, think about how many times, and I love, Cole, I love the way you think. And how many times, especially now, are you, you're okay.
Me too. No, I dig the way she thinks too. So I'm always raving about it, sister.
Finish each other's sentences. You probably even have to talk that much because you're so in sync. She's like, putting in this piece of the recipe, he's putting in the other piece. Can you guys see it?
This one here. Awesome. So continue. I don't want to detract you.
No, I was just going to say, like, I know whenever I'm growing, right? I'm in, in an experience like this where I'm like growing myself. You look across the dinner table and you're like, oh, I wish my husband would be reading that book, or I wish my college student who's home in quarantine right now would read that. So a lot of the folks who got an early copy say they like had to give it away before they were through the introduction, get themselves a new one. So the point is get to. But anyway, go to lisasasevich.com. You'll get the Meant for More, hit on the Meant for More tab, order the book from any of those booksellers, and then enter your order number. We'll get you the audiobook completely free right now. You could be listening today, and then you'll get the Discover Your Unique Value mini course. And we're also going to be doing some support calls. So I'll be doing some coaching to help you turn it into an irresistible offer. So I wanted to give you guys some things that we could just have some fun with and learn more about each other, the three of us as well, that you can do right now if you want to start discovering your unique value, or taking the next cut. Some of you already know how you contribute to the world. But what if you could take the next cut so you could stand out even more with what you're offering, which this is the time to do that. So here's a couple of fun things. They're right out of the Discover Your Unique Value course. There's 5 different exercises. So when you get in there, when you enter your name and email, you're going to get an email from us that gives you the access to our paid online business academy. Like before now, only people who paid for our courses were in there. You will be in there free in the Discover Your Unique Value course. So here's a couple from the 5 exercises you'll see, and you'll watch a video and you'll get a workbook. So this is like real, okay? So this is one of my favorite ways that I have watched people discover their $1 million value. And some of them literally have turned it into a $1 million value. One of the ways is think about all the times that people have said to you, oh, Ta, can I just have 5 minutes of your time? I really, really want to pick your brain about X, right? Like how many times have people wanted to pick your brain about a certain topic? And I'm sure it's always the similar topic. There's something that you've done that they want to pick your brain about.
For coffee.
And, they'll buy you a coffee, of course. If they could meet you at Starbucks, they would.
And I don't drink coffee.
Yeah, well, there's that. Green tea?
Yeah, once in a while.
Chamomile. You do like another tea.
I do what would your drink be?
Water.
I mean,
water.
You'll do like a golden milk if it's dairy free.
Yeah.
Okay, but you guys are with me, right? Like,
yeah.
Me, like before I knew I was the queen of sales conversion, I didn't know because this stuff's so close we can't see it, but other people could see it. That's why this is powerful. Yeah. And people would come up to me all the time. Like, let's say they were going to start in a new MLM or a direct sales company, or they were going to start their own thing. They'd always want to take me to coffee and pick my brain about the sales part. They'd call it the sales part. And it's funny because once I started to market how to sell without being salesy, we would call it the sales part in our marketing, use the same words that people wanted to use when they picked my brain. And it has attracted, hundreds of thousands of people over the years. So, if we say we've been used, if you love what you do, but you hate the sales part, and that attracts our ideal client. They love what they do, but they hate the sales part. So look for exercise 1 is where do people always want to pick your brain? Because that is showing you that there's something they see that maybe you don't realize is so valuable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that kind of pairs with the very next exercise, the second of 5 that you'll see in the Discover Your Unique Value mini course. And that is what is easy for you, but hard for other people? What are some of the things that just come super easy to you, but they're really, really difficult for others? Now, this is kind of close to the first one. Because again, they can see it. Sometimes you can't. And because it's easy for you, like sales, like making the offer, I love it. For me, it's uncomfortable not to make an offer. I don't want to just be informational or inspirational. I want to be transformational. I want you guys to take the offer and transform your life. So, for me, that's easy for me, but other people, oh my God, how do you make your offer so right? And that's why we've been able to help so many people. So what is it that you just kind of give it away because it doesn't seem that valuable to you, but other people struggle with it, and see what comes to mind. So those are 2 areas that you can look that, right there. I want everybody to do this. Come on, you guys, play along.
Put your finger on your nose.
Put your finger on your nose. So can you see the tip of your nose or the tip of your finger? Not really. That's that saying. It's the tip of your nose, so you can't see it, right? But other people can see it, right? And that's why these exercises, when you start making these lists, you're going to see things that you may not have seen. Mm-hmm. I was talking to the founder of Hint Water, Kara Golden, right? Amazing woman. I'm an investor in the company. I love the product. I love her. $100 million company. She started it from home. She did these exercises and she saw these additional possibilities, these additional revenue streams, even from a company of that size that they just never would have seen. She was just kind of giving it away because people were wanting to pick her brain about these couple of things all the time. Right?
Yeah.
And there's one last piece. Here's the problem. Like, we want to be generous, but here's the problem with letting people pick your brain. Instead of like doing the work, following the Meant for More formula will help you pick your own brain and turn it into an offer. Letting people pick your brain, here's the problem. When they pay attention. When they don't pay, they do nothing with it. This is
Mhm.
exactly what Todd and Cole were talking about a
Mhm.
minute ago.
Yep.
So you could like wax poetic, you could bleed, on the table with all the things you did to get your body in such great shape, or, to have fabulous relationship that you have. And it seems they don't do anything with it. They got no skin in the game.
Yeah.
And every time you let someone pick your brain, you give it away and they do nothing with it, guess what that does to you? It reinforces inside you that that thing probably doesn't have that much value. It's not really worth that much. I can't help people with that, right? So it's giving you exactly the opposite message of the one that, your soul really needs to know, which is that it does have value and that there's a way, there are steps, which is why I wrote this, to show you exactly, what to do and how to harvest that value. So there's a few places to start.
I mean, those are amazing places, because the thing is, most people, what has kept them from creating a life that is on their terms, even though there's much that's not necessarily on our terms, there is a lot that is. Right now is the opportunity. Instead of those 3 hours of Netflix every day, imagine if you spent 3 hours diving into figuring out what could I sell to people? What could I offer that would help more people from where they are currently? So whether it's stay-at-home mom or your neighbors, their lawns are getting out of control and you don't want to be in the house and you're like, man, listen, for $20, I'll come mow your lawn. And before you know it, you have 20 people in your neighborhood. Hey, right? I mean, then you're not inside. They don't have to do it. Or it's elderly people. Whatever it is, it's looking at what is not my opportunity to take, what is my opportunity to give that will have high value for the people that want to participate in this with me. We had done a post earlier today and someone asked, they said, oh, well, I'll tune into that as long as there's not a sales pitch at the end. And in my mind, I was like, we never have a sales pitch. We say, if you would like to lean in more and you want to get into the closer knit circle, then let us know. And it's a conversation, because you also can't just buy into working with us. Why? Our exchange is not quantifiable. You can't put a number on our energy. What it does is it does help us filter, not from opportunity, but who has invested over and over again to get where they are, so they believe and they understand processes and transformation as a result. It's not that someone has more money and someone has less. It's that typically, and not always, typically most of the time, someone has taken the steps to learn these processes already, which means we get to go deeper faster because they've got the groundwork already done.
Amen, sister. Yeah, for sure. Sure. Yeah.
So Meant for More I think is an awesome title. And, with the deep work,
killer offer,
the deep work that we do with people is about expression. It's about expression of the entire self, the physical self, the spiritual self, the mental self, the social self, being able to express all of that. And when we hold that back, it is the deepest form of dishonesty. We are not being completely honest and outright. And we work from a space of deep, deep honesty. And to know that you are meant for more and to hold that back is actually putting a wall in front of the expression of your entire being. And when you can express that entire being, that's when life starts to open up. So I want to thank you for having such a short, such a to the point and eloquent title, Meant for More. I think it's brilliant. And thank you for what you've created and opening up the ground for people to explore what they are more of, what they may have been holding back, what they may still be holding back, and what they don't need to hold back. I think it's awesome. And I think it's an awesome space to move into the mirror and really say to yourself, hey, I'm meant for more. And so with that, we always ask our guests, since this is the Mentor in the Mirror podcast, if you had one thing that you could tell our listeners to go in front of the mirror and invite them to say to themselves, what would it be? The greatest mentor in the world is in the mirror.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What will I be happy to have done?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you would want to ask yourself right now. You want to stand out 3 months from now, look back and say, what will I be happy to have done? How will I be happy to have grown, to have evolved? Yeah.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Brilliant. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And for anyone that's listening or watching right now, if you're on Facebook, tag a friend. Everyone is sitting at home wondering what they can do. and schools are canceled, right? You may have had this idea you were going to go to school and sign up for another year, another semester. This is a pause. This is a pause, prioritize, and then we'll proceed. We call those the 3 Ps, right?
I love that.
Where are you now? Where do you want to be? And Lisa said it so perfectly. And this offer is killer. You're buying a book. Then you go back to the website, you get the free audio book plus a mini course, which you have time to really dive into right now, even if the kids are home, creating a structure, creating a space in that for you to learn within this, so that 3 months from now, you have complete clarity in where your opportunities lie, instead of coming out like the smoke has cleared going, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do. Lisa, thank you so much for your time. And anyone, if you haven't shared this stream or tagged someone, please do. If you loved what you learned or you have a big takeaway, leave it either as a review, leave it in the notes of the video. And we love hearing from you. So thank you as always for your time. And again, Lisa, we're so grateful for your time with us today and this amazing, perfectly timed opportunity.
And once again,
divine appointment, everyone. You're watching this right now for a reason. There's, a lot of things you could be doing. And, you've got to ask yourself, is this a divine appointment? And if so, money loves speed. The faster you act on the inspiration you're having right now, you're sending that signal back that you mean business. You got the message and you mean business.
Yeah, yes. Nice. I like that. Is that the divine appointment? I hear the word divine thrown around a lot, and I get that kind of like, but I like that. Is that the divine appointment? Next.
I think you were having a divine appointment, right? Like the chance to get to meet each other's energy beyond just the chats that we've been in. So, there's so much good that's going to come out of this time that the 3 of us plus everyone else that's with us right now spent together.
Yeah, yes. I love it. So could you share one more time where people can find you?
Sure. I'd say that the fastest, easiest way, it's just all on one page, is go to lisasasevich.com. You can see it right there on the screen. Across the top, there's all the typical about, you'll see meant for more. Click on that. And as you scroll down, it'll show you all the order incentives we have right now. There's $1,000 worth of training with me. You're going to have some group calls to help you on your meant for more journey. You're going to get the mini course. Discover your unique value that the tips we shared today came from. And never done, but done now, right? We're breaking the rules in quarantine style. You're going to get the audiobook. It's right there. So you'll go and buy the book on one of the links you'll see at your favorite bookseller. Then you'll come back and enter your order number. And then once you do that, you'll get an email from us inviting you into our online business academy, where prior to now, only people who paid $2,000 or more for one of our sales training courses have been. You're going to get on in there and you're going to get into the Discover Your Unique Value mini course. You're going to get started. It's got it's got a video and a workbook. You're going to start looking, where do people want to pick your brain? You'll see, you're going to start noticing things differently now. What's easy for me and hard for others? Oh, that may have some value, because let's face it, here's the thing. This is kind of the cosmic joke, right? It's very counterintuitive, but what if you could be paid the most for the thing that comes the easiest to you?
Yep.
Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. So that's what there is to do. I'll look forward to seeing you, in our campus on your Meant for More journey and supporting you further. And I look forward to seeing you guys a lot more, Ta and Cole, virtually and live, hopefully. And really, really appreciate all the time we spent together today. It was just super fun, and I'm all lit up to bring the best of me to my family tonight. I got a 13-year-old daughter and a 16-year-old son, and if they're still down there doing school, I'll be shocked. But
well, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you more than you know. And if you love this and you're listening, please rate, review, subscribe, share with a friend, tag us on Instagram and Twitter and all that good stuff. My name is Ta.
My name is Cole.
We are Ta Cole, and this is the Mentor in the Mirror podcast. Be free.